on to our next question, sir. Most of our students, they are concerned about how internships are being provided. Most of the universities in Georgia, they are affiliated to a number of clinics and hospitals. So if you can elaborate about how internships are being provided to students, by University of Georgia.
So the most important part is that the university has to have very good partner hospitals. Because without the good practice in hospitals, we already discussed, there are no good doctors born.
Yeah.
Because doctors are not born in the office. So
yeah, absolutely.
The classroom somewhere. So you have to go through a lot in the hospital, and only after this experience you can call yourself a doctor. So the hospitals that we are working with are very good. We have affiliation with 27 hospitals.
Okay.
There are 2 hospitals that are owned by us, and we have the hospitals that are basically working on every little issue that can be a matter of the health care of someone. But we have this approach. So, for example, we have a brilliant clinic for the oncology in Georgia called Medwell.
Okay.
For example. So we have a big partner of, let's say, New Hospital, that is the biggest clinic in Georgia and affiliated with us, and we have 200 something beds there, and everybody can practice any disease there.
Yeah.
But we also have this clinic that is smaller, but has big expertise in the oncology.
Okay.
So when we have students and we want them to practice oncology for that particular period of time, we also use something that is only working on the oncology, because maybe that will give them the better idea. The study, yeah. So the main idea is that we use these 28
clinical rotations in each department,
because the students have to also see different doctors, different approaches, different situations in the hospital.
Exactly.
Because sometimes even a good doctor can give you sometimes only one point of view. And what you need is, when you are a young doctor, you need to understand that there are many points of views. You have
to
understand how to build a case, how to follow your knowledge, how to
differential
like something, because we have to know that more than 80% of the job in the hospital right now in the world is done by the nurses.
Exactly.
Why? Because the nursing became a fascinating new direction of the medicine. We have the bachelor program of nurses, master program of nursing, and amazing results they have. But why the doctors are so needed still, and why they are so well respected?
The entire clinical
20% of the job that they do is the hardest one.
Yes.
What's that? That's the decision making.
Yes, 99% of
You have to choose what kind of treatment should be done. And there is no one who has more responsibility. You make one mistake, it will be all good.
It will cost somebody's life.
The students have to know, the applicants have to know.
Yeah.
There is no easy life for a doctor. You have children's party, birthday party, they're gonna celebrate it without you. You will spend that night,
But it's probably dedication and care.
But that
for the entire life.
That pays off in the end.
Yes.
Because all this respect, all this good feeling when you help someone, all the good revenues that it brings, all the good name it brings to the family, and it is something that you do for the humanity, not only for your particular career, your family, your own future, but something for everybody. And I think, but for that we have to understand that you have to do a lot of hard job.
So dedication and consistency.
A lot of sleepless nights, a lot of dedication, and we have to understand at 22, 23, all your friends are graduated, all your friends are settled, some of them will be married, kids, they have the good jobs, you're still studying. That's the life of a doctor. In the end of the day, it's your birthday, your friends gonna celebrate it without you, because you will not have time soon. But that's something that will pay off in the end. So we have to understand that what doctors did are different point of views, different research, different methodologies that should be checked, because this is a technological stage of life, and every day we have something new. And the doctor should be able to implement that very, very fast. because the doctor that stands, so, we are joking that we are running to stand still sometimes in the medicine. So so you have to run to stand still.
Yes.
Because technology is so fast in these days. So that's why our approach is that to give the different experience. But of course, the quality is always the best because we're the biggest international university. Everybody wants to be our partners. We want to partner with the best ones because University of Georgia does the main probably difference with most of the brilliant, good colleges.
That is probably the reason it's ranked higher than other institutions.
They're also very good colleges.
Yeah.
Most of the people that work there are my friends, and I really appreciate their job. But most of them are the medical colleges, and we just have a medical school. We have 16 schools. So we teach law, we teach business administration. We have School of Technologies, engineering, IT, and different things. We have School of Humanities, like languages and different stuff. We have School of Social Sciences. And let's say when we want to teach, let's say, Georgian to international students, because they have to practice in the Georgian hospital, you cannot ask an old lady to speak in English sometimes when she...
With respect to this particular point, sir, and I would like to, talk to our viewers as well, that, we consistently through all our videos say that irrespective of which country you go to, you have to learn the local language, because if you cannot communicate in the local language, you will never be able to assess what is wrong with the patient, and without proper clinical diagnosis, you cannot treat the patient. So it is really very important, irrespective of whichever country you go to, you have to learn the local language there.
That's not a big problem.
So 6 years is a long time actually.
We have, let's say, in the University of Georgia, a special program for the international students that starts for the first semester. Nobody pays anything additional for that. We have implemented it already for 7 years, and the result is really fascinating. We have students from 77 different countries, and all of them are really well adapted to speak to Georgian, in Georgian. And I think that's the very important thing, is that because of the thing that we have the School of Humanities, we have the big department of languages, and we try to make our...
I guess that makes it... And it also makes it easier.
Yeah, when I want to bring the Georgian teachers, I don't need...
From the same university.
It's high-ranking scholars that I have in the Department of Languages. That's what big school can make.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, same with Latin language, because Latin is very important.
Important for medicine.
Same with the technologies, because some subjects of technologies, like engineering subject, they are very important. Biochemistry, this kind of thing. I have the big school, we have the big school of the technologies, and we can bring the high-ranking source from this. We don't need to invite the professors. So that's the main difference, probably, and we have to understand that also helps the students to analyze it.
Moving on to our final question, and that is, sir, what has your experience been till now of handling Indian students, and what message probably you would like to give to our prospective students, who want to take medicine at University of Georgia?
So I'm always really happy to come to India, because we like the students that come from India. I'm always keen to see the places where they come from, because they talk.
It's a beautiful country.
Yeah, a very beautiful country, and we have a lot of similarities in this and Georgians. We are crazy about our food, same with the Georgians. We are crazy about the family relationships, relatives, all this kind of rituals, weddings, all this kind of things, very similar to Georgia. We are crazy about the poetry, all the books that we have, all the rituals that we have, all the important spiritual things, and music, of course, and the movies as well. So the Georgians have probably one of the oldest movie industry in the world. We just keen on the different. You have this masala movies, but we have this more European like that. Oh, actually, no happy end in Georgia. no happy end in Georgia. That's the thing. But we still have directed the oldest documentary movie in the world. We got 1911. So the thing is that the relationship we build with our Indian students is excellent. What we analyzed also is that the students, especially from the southern part of India, we have most of them are coming from the south part, that's why I'm saying it, but we have students from the north as well, especially from the states like Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, like Telangana, Kerala, they have very good results. Not only here, but also in FMG statistics, if you see, they have very good success on the license examinations. USMLE statistics, you see the same. So I think the determination is there, the motivation is there in the students, and they only need some good path to follow. And I think most of you that probably that will watch now will think about it, and probably you're on the right way. You just need to be very well motivated to go to the distance that we have to travel to achieve something. And I think we've had a brilliant experience. And every time we have an batch from India, I think it's something special for us. But we work in seven different countries right now. Every year we try to make something new, maybe attract people from a different country, because the diversity is good in general. And they also bring something.
Different cultures, different.
We try to implement that. And the University of Georgia has probably the unique, diverse community in Caucasus, and we are really proud of it. And we also are very keen to organize this Indian Culture Days every year, because that's a lot of fun.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And so for the community, there is a small Indian community in Tbilisi. The Indian food is available everywhere, so they are very delicious restaurants. There are Indian groceries as well. As I've told, the festivals are done every time in the university as well. We help also with our partners to organize the movie nights for the.
That's interesting to hear.
It's just to have some Bollywood, Collywood, Tollywood, this kind of nights, and that also helps them to feel home sometimes.
Yes.
We have to also probably mention three things about the country itself. It's a very comfortable place. The good thing is that it's not far away from India at all. Now we're going to have the direct flights from New Delhi. Or a little later on, we will have direct flights from Mumbai as well. And probably from Hyderabad as well in the near future. It will be done, I think, through Indigo. And the total flight time is 4.5 hours. Just one direct flight. And the time difference is only 1.5 hours, so the parents are not going to wake up in the middle of the night to find time to speak to. It's nothing.
In fact, India is so big. Like if you travel from Kerala to Jammu Kashmir, that's more than 4 hours.
Yeah, but hopefully more direct flights will be introduced, and then it will be a less problem. But it will make it definitely the whole thing cheaper.
So, what message you would like to give to the future prospective students?
To give one big message is that. Same with that I was speaking about the curriculum. So, to be a doctor, there is a part of the degree and there is part of the license.
Yes.
And each one of them is very hard to get. And without the license, there is no work for you in the hospital. Without the degree, there is no place on the license examination.
Yes.
That's the situation. So to succeed in both, you need hard work. You need a lot of sleepless nights. You need a lot of parties that you miss, a lot of good time that you miss with your friends. But this is something that you have to invest. Because investment is not only money, and your family is going to make a lot of investment as well, financially too. But it's not only about money. It's about the time, about the effort, about the energy that you put in something, about your emotional investment as well. So my only advice would be that try to work really hard, because nobody can study for it.
Absolutely.
We can give you some good program, we can give you some good hospitals for practice, we can give you some good classes, they can give you the good information that you will need. Somebody can give you the good pathway, but nobody can study for you.
Yeah.
And not even your parents can study for you, because they've done a lot for you, but right now it's your job to study very well. And whoever does that, believe me, in 6, 7, 10 years, you'll be so happy that you did it. It will pay off in the end for you. So that's my advice. Study hard, nobody will do it for you.
We just forgot one particular point, and I would just like few lines on license and registration in Georgia.
Yes.
Yeah, because that is one very, very important aspect of.
very important things. Yeah, thanks for reminding. We have to mention that. So, as I've already tried to explain, there is a big government body in Georgia that belongs to the Ministry of Education, but it's almost independent big organization called National Center for Quality Education Enhancement. It is part of the Bologna Process Agreement that unites the full European education chain, and they have their own regulations. So that helps the Georgian degrees then to be recognized everywhere in the world. Globally, it's acceptable. When you make a program, let's say, if it's medicine or not medicine, doesn't matter. The National Center for Quality Education Enhancement will bring people, experts from all around Europe, from the different national centers, to analyze the program. That's why it's a long process, but once you are done, everybody accepts it.
Yeah.
So this organization is also a big authority in the medical education, as I've already mentioned. And whenever we want to accept an applicant, we have to send the document to the National Center for Quality Education.
Exactly.
The same government body, on the same day that when somebody is accepted, gonna register their names as a medical students. When they are graduating, we have to do the same.
Okay.
We have to send them the information. Then it goes to the Ministry of Education. Ministry of Education has 2 authorized publish houses in tbilisi where they can actually print your certificates, your diplomas, as you're a certified doctor, MD, so medical doctor. So without getting registered to the National Center for Quality Education Enhancement, there is no degree in Georgia. That's the very simple system. So everybody who is graduated in Georgia is registered in the National Center for Quality Education Enhancement as an MD.
Okay.
For the license
Yes.
in Georgia, everybody who is registered as an MD in the National Center has a right to apply for the license examination.
Okay.
License examination is done in Georgia. Okay? Everywhere in the world, you do the license on
In the local language. Yes.
Without that, there is no work for you in local hospital.
Yeah.
In Germany you go, it's in German.
Yeah.
In Italy you go, it's in Italian. In France, it's in French. In Britain, it's in English.
Yeah.
In the USA, it's English. In India, you have many languages. It's not least in English because it's the nationwide adopted. So we have to understand, it's in local language, but whoever is registered as an MD graduate has a right to apply. Everybody. And there is also 6 years of studying. There is long time for you to learn Georgian on that level, and we teach Georgian in the curriculum. So if somebody wants to do that, they easily can. So the whole thing is that the NMC regulation is fulfilled fully in that, because what the NMC regulation states is that it should be registered by the government, the name should be registered by the government body, and from the day first it's registered by the National Center for Quality Education Enhancement, which is the government body that controls it, and the license examination should be, the student should be eligible for the license examination.
Which they are.
Which they are,
Yeah.
without any problem. So that's the most important, because there were countries that were giving the diplomas, but they were not given the right to make the license examination, or they were not given the registration. It's not the problem in Georgia. It's not like that. So that's what when we in the beginning we meant that the NMC regulations are fully satisfied. That's one thing that we also meant. And even when we made the program at that time, MCI was still in power. And I myself submitted documents to MCI, and we got recognition like instantly at that time. Then it was changed to NMC. But the regulations, as I've already mentioned, most of them are based on the WHO approach,
Yes.
WFM standards. That are the standards that we followed when we made the program. So as in case of Next, it was introduced in India next year, but for us it was already something that we've been prepared for, because it's based on the USMLE, and we've aimed on the USMLE when we made the program. So that's the answer for you.
So before we end this video, I'll just like to summarize a few points. The first being that, sir already mentioned that the entire course curriculum for University of Georgia has been made by keeping USMLE in mind. And, to say that if a student prepares for the, strictest or the hardest examination, the examination which, such as Next will become much, much easier. Second thing which I would like to say is that he talked about OSCE. So when you talk about National Exit Test Part 2, National Exit Test Part 2 focuses largely on the clinicals. So when you are being clinically trained with respect to OSCE in mind, it becomes very, very easier to, clear NEXT Part 2. And third and most important thing, what, sir mentioned is that the day you graduate from Georgia, you get registration directly, and absolutely that is from the first day itself when they get their equivalency.
Without that, it's impossible to get that.
And when you want to appear for licensing, you are eligible. And to keep in mind, you have to remember that licensing exams are always in the local language. It was such a pleasure to talk to you, sir, and I hope you enjoyed the same. With this, we would like to end this video, and we shall surely see you in the next. Thank you again.
Thank you.